Welcome back to DIY My Way. If you follow my channel for a while, you know I have a tendency to add mods to my tractor, such as these. However, there's one mod I've been meaning to add for a while now that I'm just getting around to. And it's an important one because it's about safety. For all the bells and whistles that I've added to my tractor, the one that I haven't added yet is a fire extinguisher. The problem is I'm running out of space to mount things. I really can't mount it to the ROPS because, well, frankly, I'm out of room on the ROPS. There's not a really good place for me to mount it either on the inside or the outside. And if I were going to do it, I would put it to the inside of the ROPS. But so that's out, so what else is there? There really isn't a good place on the fell tower for it to go on this side. And really, there's not a place on this fell tower either. I could possibly mount it somewhere here with a strip of metal down right there, and it may not be in my way. Or perhaps there, but I'm pretty sure that would be in my way. But the other reason I would rather it not be on the fell towers is because if there's going to be a fire on this tractor, it's going to be in the engine compartment. Not that that's a thing that actually happens very often, but that's a place where there's an awful lot of heat. And let's say I'm not doing my job and not cleaning leaves or debris or anything that gets on top of the DPF, that could be a problem. So I'd rather have the fire extinguisher a little further away from the engine compartment. So after considering my options, I decided I would mount it right about here. The advantage of mounting it here, besides being further away from the engine compartment, is it will not get in the way of the backhoe being mounted. It fits between the seats of the backhoe and the driver's seat, and I can access it from either the backhoe seat or the driver's seat. Unfortunately, I don't have to drill any holes in my fender for this because there are two existing factory-made holes that I'll make use of. These holes, along with the matching set on the other side, support that crossbar that supports that dinky little toolbox that comes stock on the Kubota L-Series tractors. So my challenge is to make a bracket that will fit onto here and that will allow me to mount the fire extinguisher bracket onto it.
Given the limited space available, I decided to go with a 2.5-pound extinguisher. I wish I could have gone bigger, ideally a 10-pound model, but that was not an option. When choosing a fire extinguisher for your tractor, go with as big a model as you can find space for. Also, make sure the extinguisher is an ABC class, meaning it can handle ordinary dry combustibles like wood, paper, cloth, and most plastics, flammable liquids like gasoline, grease, and oil, and that it is safe and effective on live electrical fires. Also be sure it comes with a mounting bracket and not just a mounting hook. I bought the Amerex 2.5-pound extinguisher with a mounting bracket from Amazon. There's a link to it in the video description. My plan is to use some 2-inch wide steel flat bar to make a T-shaped mounting bracket for the fire extinguisher to attach to. It will be bolted to the fender, making use of two existing holes, which are 1 3/8 inch apart, center to center. I begin by cutting a 6-inch piece of 2-inch wide by 1/8 inch thick flat bar I have. Then I drill two 5/16 holes. The first hole is 5/16 inches from the end, and the second hole is 1 3/8 inches from the first. Both are centered to the width of the bar. Then I remove the mill scale from the piece. And tack weld 5/16 inch nuts to the plate to be used with the 5/16 inch bolts that are temporarily holding the nuts on. I'll cut the bolts shorter later. A little cleanup never hurts. Then I cut a 3-inch piece of 2-inch by 1/4 inch flat bar, which will serve as a standoff between the horizontal bar and the vertical bar that the fire extinguisher will mount to. Next, I tack weld the standoff plate to the horizontal bar before running full-length beads. A length of 2" by 1/4" flat bar will be the vertical bar. 6½ inches will do just fine. After the piece cools off, I mark where the screw holes will go. Then cut a piece of 1/16 inch rubber sheet to go between the horizontal bar and my tractor's fender to protect the finish. I drill the holes with a 5/32 inch bit. Then tap the holes for number 10 by 32 screws. Next, I test fit the fire extinguisher bracket to the vertical bar to be ready to get the final measurement I need. I begin by mounting the horizontal bar to the fender using the rubber spacer. You can see that I've cut the bolts to length. Once it's bolted on, I mark the vertical bar where it will be welded to the horizontal bar to put the fire extinguisher at a good height, which by the way will be 2 3/4 inches above the top of the horizontal bar. Then I clean the mill scale from the area around the weld. I tack weld the pieces, clean the slag, then run the beads. Finally, I clean the welds. One more test fit before painting the bracket. Then I cleaned the mounting rig with acetone, primed and painted it with Kubota orange, and let it dry overnight. The next day it's time for the final installation. Tighten the bolts. Then put the fire extinguisher in its new home.
So now finally I have a fire extinguisher on my tractor. It's not a very big one, but it's as big as I could go with the space I had available. So do you carry a fire extinguisher on your tractor? If you do, let me know in the comments and let me know where you mounted yours. If you've enjoyed this video, please take a moment to click that like button, leave a comment, and by all means, please subscribe. And if you want to know when I post a new video, click that little bell. And as always, thank you for watching.